So Dan,
Yeah,
I'm here visiting you today, and tell me exactly where I'm at.
yeah, man. You are at Cherry Street's Life Revitalization Center, where lives get revitalized.
Well, see, Dan is part of the Cherry Street mission, and part of their mission now is being able to collaborate with a lot of other groups to be able to help people.
Right.
And as I told him, you know, in an area where you have limited funding, he is coming up with a creative way to help people all the way from the beginning to when they're fully employed and able to take care of themselves. And what we talked about earlier, and it was a really good discussion, is about the difference between a handout and a hand up. And what Dan is being able to create here is that hand up. His program that we talked about, and we walked the hallways of the old Macomber School, which is so impressive, and I think everybody needs to stop through here and take a look at it. But the idea of being able to take people who are definitely in need, who really want that hand up, and who want to be able to do something successful, I think is great. So why don't you explain to them how this actually works here?
Yeah, you bet. So Life Revitalization Center is getting ready to fire up in just a few weeks, sometime end of September, beginning of October, where AutoTech will be operational, call training center, forklift training, CDL training, and we'll follow that up very quickly next year with welding and culinary and building trades. You know, Mike, this whole idea is how do we build this bridge, right, from people that can't go home? And not being able to go home has really nothing to do with homelessness. It has everything to do with, you know, the thing you and I mean when we've been gone for a while and we go home and we go, it's good to be home, right? That doesn't exist for so many people, right? They don't get to go in their door and say, man, it's good to be home. And you know, we know we're not talking about the faucet or the carpet or the couch. We're talking about this sense of belonging, this sense of sanctuary. And when we say we want to help people go home, that's what we mean, right?
Basically, what you're trying to do is give them their dignity back. You're giving them their independence back, and you're allowing them to actually meet the American dream.
Yeah, exactly, man. I want everyone to experience what I get to experience every day. There was a time early in my life, Mike. I grew up in poverty. I didn't understand vacations. I didn't understand anything other than it's good to lock the door when I get home. I didn't understand, you know, much of anything other than a lot of crime and a lot of problems. So I've lived where a lot of people live right now in our city. But except now, I get to go home and say it's good to be home, right? And so, and I get to take my kids to the park and watch my grandkids now. Why wouldn't we want every citizen to experience the same thing? I think if we talk about community development, it ought to be all boats rise on the same rising tide.
I agree. And as a mayor candidate, for me, this collaborative effort is extremely important. What it makes me feel good is that there are Toledoans trying to work together to actually fix our problem. We're not looking for anybody else to come in. Once again, it's not the federal government, it's not the state government. It's Toledoans and other business people and other school systems and everything else working together to fix the Toledo problem.
Yes, single roof system, exactly right.
And so I just appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, man.
And I will help you any way I can. And for anybody that's looking at this, please help the mission, help what Dan is attempting to do. I mean, there are probably multiple assignments that he probably could use some help with. This is a Toledo problem. He's coming up with a Toledo solution, and we need to be extremely supportive of him. So this is Mike and Dan, and we're signing off. Talk to you later. No problem.